Everybody asks, like, how did you get the name Rainbow Dragon?
At Kona Coffee Purveyors, and we opened in 2016 when International Marketplace opened, and Raymond and I were looking for a stage for one of Hawaii's most well-known agricultural products, Kona Coffee, and we partnered with Patisserie so that we could really bring an amazing place to feature coffees that are specifically grown on the Big Island and in an area called Kona. Well, we knew them because we found them when we went to San Francisco. We had been told by a friend that we had to try the Queen Amman. So when we went there, we were one of those people who were bringing back boxes of Queen Amman. And one day when we heard that Michelle and Wade at MW were featuring a pop-up where they were going to have Belinda and Michelle come, we went as fans and we brought them some of our coffee to let them know how much we really just admired them. And it was at that time that my husband had the great idea, hey, we're opening a shop and will you please open your bakery in our cafe? And even I was surprised because I had not thought that that was even a possibility of having our most favorite bakery partnering with us in our cafe. And within 4 months, it was probably the most exciting development for Kona Coffee Purveyors, was being able to bring the patisserie to Hawaii. They have such a great following in Hawaii, and we were just so happy to have them with us.
When I was in school and middle school, I was not really, I was a troublemaker in school, so they told me to get lost. And then so I got lost, and then so I had to choose an industry. So I choose cooking actually. I have a grad degree in cooking, and I didn't like the cooking vibe. You know, it's kind of more like harsh. So I'd say I should learn baking. So I went to baking also. So I have both degrees, and so that's where I started.
I wanted to do cooking in the beginning also, but then when I did my internship at Restaurant Gary Danko in San Francisco, he needed a pastry chef. So then I kind of jumped in there, and then I was helping out, and then I started to go towards pastry. And so I was there for about 8 years, and then of course, you know, usually a bakery is a place where it's like a pastry chef's restaurant. So yeah, I've always wanted a bakery. Well, I remember the moment when I was cutting onions and picking all these herbs, and I was like, I don't want to do this forever. And then when went into pastry, it just seemed more whimsical and more fun and just playful.
Yeah, baking is depend on your personality. If you like to develop and make people happy, I think the pastry is where you have more time to actually create it, and because cooking is really on the line and you have to you rush through it. So I always compare like cooking is hard work, as baking is more classic, more slow down.
I went to his baking school, San Francisco Baking Institute, for a bread class, and then I was a great student, so he wanted to meet me. I love the bread he produces.
Yeah, I like basic pastry. I mean, I don't eat pastry or cake.
Yeah, me neither.
A lot.
Hilarious.
But it's one of the few pastry I actually consume. We design a specific bread so that way the size of the slice is really big and consistent. So we actually create a certain system to do those bread. And then they are actually sourdough based, so they proof overnight, you know, fermentation, slow fermentation, and bake the next day. So the bread is very tasty.
One of the main things that we really wanted to do in the beginning, but after 5 years, we're very happy to launch fresh baked sourdough bread that we're making in-house. And so the star of our tartines, which is like an open face sandwich, is a slice of our fresh sourdough bread and some accoutrements on top that really bring out the flavor of the sourdough and to accompany it.
I always loved Hawaii. I would visit often with family, and so I just love the people, I love culture, I loved everything about Hawaii. I've got some good friends here, and so so then when the opportunity came up, it's like, oh my gosh, why not? So it's, yeah, I always love coming back and seeing everyone, and everyone's just, it's so ohana, you know, so that's what I love. So.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, the people are, I know a good majority is tourists, but people are happy. They're very happy. Half of it or more is on vacation, but the Hawaiians are so welcoming, family, food oriented, so it is a good place to have good food.